Hi everyone, so this is a new video about ZStyle library for React Native, where I'm going to show you how to use animation with React Native. So for now, I just have a new project, completely new, brand new. Going to the docs, I have just installed the library with an npm command and installed the config file, the ZStyle config file, to access all utilities. Going into the ZStyle file here, so this is what you get out of the box. You have all utilities available. Going to the app.js, we are going to clean up a bit. Remove the comments here. Remove React Native and instructions. I'm going to use prop type props. Remove the styling object, which is the whole purpose of this style is to avoid this pattern. Then remove the chunk here. So going back here, we have no object. So let's import this style in the Z component. So Z view, Z text, and Z touchable opacity from React Native ZStyle. Here you go. Or first, the view component. We are back to business. So let's put a flex, use the utility flex1 to get the entire space and the background color of teal, I believe. Here you go. So the teal color, you get it from this style config here. Just here. So we are good to go. So the principle of this video, the example we're going to take is to create a model that is going from bottom to top when we click a button. As simple as that. The purpose is not to teach you how to use animated, but is to teach you how to use animated with this style. So first, let's create our model. So a model should appear on the top of the initial screen. So by definition, it should be absolute. So we see nothing for now, which is normal. Putting the background with a purple color. Again, the purple is coming from the config style, the config file. So we still see nothing because when you have an absolute view, you need to either define the height and width or the positioning with the left, right, bottom, and left, right, bottom, and top. By using the pin utilities, it's the equivalent of using top 0, right 0, bottom 0, and left 0. If it's refresh, now we can see our model. The principle of animation will be quite easy. We will use the translate Y styling animation to either when we want to hide the model to go to the bottom of the screen, and when we want to show it, to move it to the top of the screen. So to illustrate that manually, I'm going to add the style prop, which is the same style prop that you have for any React Native component, which is available out of the box if you want to add your own styling and still using component object styling together with ZStyle. If it's not provided or if you don't want to use it, it's up to you, because the priority of this library is to be completely flexible with the way that you are working you are working with React Native. So transform, then translate Y of, let's say, 200. So you see the principle. By having 200, it's going here. If I put it to 0, it's going back to the top. So the idea here is to have, when the model is closed, to have it all the way down to the bottom. To do so, we are going to use the dimension library from React Native. And while we are here, let's put the animated one as well. Let's get the height. Dimensions.getWindow. like so. So now if I put the height, the translate height, here you can see that the model disappears. It's just because it's at the bottom, the translate y moved the top, because how it works is that it's starting at the 0 point for the x and y, using the y axis only, push the model at the bottom, going back to 0, push it at the top. So this will be the purpose of our animation. So let's start with it for now. No, first, let's put the content of the initial screen. Sorry. So we have text. Hello, ZStyle. Let's style it a little bit. So white color. You can see it on the top left corner. I'm going to center it. So item center, justify center. Here you go. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Perfect. Now we need a button to trigger the model. So a touchable opacity, a Z view inside to manage the style a bit better, and a text that will be named open model. Adding some style to these three components, some ZStyle, sorry. So the button itself will have a margin top of 20 to leave a little bit of room. The view itself will have a background of so teal but darker to give a little bit of contrast. Let's put some padding of 20. And also rounded full for the corners, so we get a nice button. So, but the text, so let's put it a little bit bigger, text large, good enough, and a color of teal again, but lighter to have this nice contrast. So we have styled our button that will trigger the functionality to open the model. Talking about this, so let's add the function that will open the model as well. On press this dot toggle model. Great. Let's create the function. Here you go. So why toggle model is that I want to have in the state an attribute able to keep record of what is the state of the model. So model is model is open, and obviously it will be false at the beginning when we initialize the screen. We will also need an animation that will be a name animation simply. So new animated.value, and what will be the initial value of the model will be the height of the screen, because we want the model to be hidden. As simple as that. Then in the toggle model function, we will grab our model is open attribute as well as the animation from the state. Then we will trigger an animated.timing, simple example, on the animation, which takes the first parameter with animation, the second an object with toValue property attribute. So toValue, so this is where it's important to know if the model is open or not. So if we need to go up or down. So if the model is open, we need the animation to go back to the initial state, which is the height. Otherwise, we will go to 0, which means that the model, the top axis of the model, we go on the top of the screen. Then we need to set a duration of 250 and call start on this. Last, we need to change the state of the model to see if it's open or not. So model is open will be the contrary of the current state. This way, we have only one function to open and close the model itself. So I believe that this is good enough. Let's add the content. So I'm just going to put back our model in there. Extract this transform property here on the style, creating it here, animated model. Let's call this const, I believe, is the way to do it. Good. Okay. So from the states, I'm going to get the animation. And this is what the translate Y will follow. Getting the animation. So if I put it to the style props, just like any, if you look at the normal React Native components, if you avoid the ZView components, you need to add the animated.view components to be able to use animated styles, just like that. With ZStyle, it's very simple. Instead of using style, just use animated with your animated style. And the library will know by default that this is an animated component, and we'll use, with the ZView component, we'll use an animated.view component instead of a view component. And the same works for the text and image. So this is how you put everything together. Let's put some context to this model, some content, sorry, to this model. So instead of hello, let's put by. Instead of open model, let's put close. And to be consistent with the screen, so we have a background purple, we have a button with a purple darker and a text with purple lighter. This way, and this button will have still the toggle model functionality that will toggle the animation. So since when you press this button, it will be open, you press this one, and it will be open. So when you will press it, it will close the model properly. So let's go back. Set the state with animated value now. So if everything goes well, I push this button. And here you go. So I'm missing some styling here. I don't like it at all. So basically in the absolute component, which is a model, and actually we can call it model, which is so another functionality of this side that you can create components. So let's call that model, going to the ZStyle configuration file. In the components object, you can add attributes with ZStyle properties. So we get exactly the same, except that now I want to center everything. Justify center. There you go. So it's much better. So now you have the exact same thing than before. We have added obviously the item center and justify center to have the whole content in the center of the screen. It's much cleaner and you can easily identify your model. So having this animated model in there enables you to toggle your animation. So that's it for this video. I hope you liked it, and see you for other tips with ZStyle for React Native.